Hi, I'm Matthew and welcome to 2CrazyMedia. Today I'm going to be giving my first initial thoughts and impressions on Highguard. That's right, as of yesterday, January 26th, Highguard is now officially out on PS5, Xbox Series X, and S, and PC for free. This game was revealed at the Game Awards. It was the final trailer of the night, which was pretty controversial. It made a lot of people kind of already begin to hate this game before it even was out. It was one that everyone thought the developers had paid for reveal, but turns out Jeff just really liked the game that much that he wanted to promote it a little more and said, hey, can we show it at the Game Awards? So yeah, this game is free to play, as I said, and it came out yesterday. And so I've had time to play it. I've played about 6 hours of the game yesterday, which is a good amount of time. And I played a little more than 10 matches, which each match is around, I'd say, 20 minutes. Some of my longer matches have gone on for more than 30 minutes, and some of the shorter ones have been around 7 to 10 minutes. So they are pretty long for the most part, I'd say. So a little more than 10 matches is a lot. Is a lot of time. So this is not a full review. This is just kind of my first impressions, my first initial thoughts after having hands-on on this game, trying it out, playing and seeing how it works and how it plays, giving my first opinions. So I kind of want to go through some of the positives of the game and then some of the negatives, because overall I think this game is a lot of fun. I've had an enjoyable time with it. I will probably be playing it more in the coming weeks, and I want to get more into it. But it is not without a lot of issues. And when I mean a lot, I mean a lot of issues. So, starting with the positives. The concept of the game overall is really cool. It's sort of an amalgamation of different types of games that kind of combines into one new experience. It's sort of a tower defense game mixed with a battle royale like an Apex Legends, mixed with a capture the flag. It's a whole mix between games, and the main mode, the one mode of the game, the raid mode, is a 3v3. It's only 3v3. And it's 3v3 mode set on 5 different big maps. There are 5 maps in the game, and they're all pretty big, like pretty big, especially just for 3v3. And that's kind of by design. So how it starts is you start with just a prep phase where you are fortifying the walls of your base. It's a hero shooter, so you get to choose what hero you want to play as. Each hero has different abilities. They're called wardens in the game. And so each warden has different abilities, different passive abilities. So you get to choose which one you want. Once you choose your warden, you get to choose which base you want. This basically, you get 4 random choices of bases, each one kind of having a different look, some having different aspects, like one is fully indoors. One is very vertical. One has a lava pit sort of in the middle. So it's kind of choosing which one you want. And then the prep phase begins with you just fortifying your bases. You get 5 walls. Each person gets 5 walls to fortify and make stronger, so it's harder for the enemy team to destroy it, to get to the generators. Kind of like Rainbow Six Siege, if you're on the defending side. Then once you do that, you kind of have the looting phase, where you basically go around this big map with your team on a mount, so on a horse, a bear, a giant panther, and you find better loot, you find higher rarity guns, you find amulets for like cooldowns and stuff, you find shields and armor, and you also have this mining thing called Vesper, which is this resource that you can mine around the map that you can then use to sell at the trader shop that's all around the map to then upgrade your abilities and get new guns. So and then finally, the shield breaker spawns in the map, which is this big sword that spawns in 3 random places in the middle of the map. And the two teams kind of battle it out to take it. And then whoever gets the shield breaker has to bring it to the enemy base and start the raid, kind of like capture the flag. Once the raid begins, if you're on the attacking side, you have to then go into the enemy base while the enemies are defending it, and try to blow up all 3 of their generators. It kind of is a back and forth. Depending on how many generators you can destroy, you can end the match on the first attack, or it'll take multiple attacks to kind of end the match. And it is a lot of fun. It's really enjoyable. It can make matches really intense, especially when you get towards like longer matches where you really are trading off base health and points. It can be a lot of fun and very chaotic in a good way. A lot of positives I have is that the art style is very whimsical. It's kind of that whimsical animation that you see in a lot of stuff now, and it looks good. The gunplay feels very nice. If I mentioned before, this is from Wildlight Studios. They're a brand new studio this is the first ever game. They are made up of a lot of people from Respawn, so a lot of people that worked on Apex. And this game feels a lot like Apex, especially with the gunplay. And Apex Legends feels great, and this game also feels great to play. The game just feels really nice. When you're just roaming around the big maps and you're on your mount, hopping on and off your mount feels really nice, especially getting into combat. Jumping off your mount, going to shoot an enemy feels awesome. Another thing I like is the armor system. The armor system is basically, instead of once you get all your armor taken off by an enemy, it regens just like your health regens. And the only way to get more armor is by just by stacking up more armor on the map. Finding more armor, buying more armor of the same rarity and the shops, kind of all that whole system, and kind of stacking and buying as much armor as you can so you don't lose it. It's a really cool system, and I think it's different but awesome. Another positive I like is the post-launch roadmap they announced yesterday. They seem to be doing a sort of big update every month, which with new seasons being every 2 months. So for example, in 2 weeks, they're introducing episode 2, which is basically season 2, the first like big season. And so in 2 weeks, they're going to be adding a new hero, or what they call a warden, a new map, a ranked mode, and also a new mount. And then a month after that, they're going to be adding a new base, a new raid tool, and then so on and so forth each and every month. And I think that's great. I think it shows that they are really confident on this game and also planning to support it for a while, and hopefully more than just a year. Hopefully the game could survive for more than a year. Because from what I played, I've enjoyed so far, and I do want to try to stick to it longer and see at least how the first few months go of updates. But yeah, the post-launch roadmap does seem pretty promising. Another aspect of the game I like is that with each match you play, you earn 2 different kinds of currency, of in-game currency, warden credits, and visual tokens. These are literally just earned by just simply playing the game. Even if you lose a match, you will earn coins. You may not earn as much as you can earn if you win the game and earn a victory, but you still earn no matter what happens. And I think that's nice. It feels rewarding even if you lose, and you can also gain credits and tokens by completing daily and weekly challenges, and you can use it in the trading shop and also in the sort of their battle pass system, which is cool. And overall, positively, I had a fun time with it. But this game is not without its negatives. And I have a fair share of them to just talk about. So, sort of the biggest negative for me, and what kind of disappointed me a lot, is that and I think this is just a glitch with the game that hopefully they can fix, and that is that I am unable to play duos for some reason. I don't know if this is an issue for other people, but at least for me, I was easily able to find a match almost instantly just playing solo with 2 random players. And I also was able to get on with 2 friends of mine and play. And we also found matches quite instantly. But when I was just trying to play with one other friend and just trying to find a random person to play with, we couldn't find a match at all. We would be waiting in the lobby with the game saying it's finding a match for minutes, for like 10 minutes at one point. And we could just never find a match. So for some reason, the game won't let you play duos right now. It doesn't say it, just keeps trying to find a match and just never does. So hopefully they can fix that soon, because say you only have 1 friend online and you still want to play with them, you can't, and that kind of sucks. You have to have at least 2 friends online to play with them. So I hope they can fix that soon, because that really did derail a lot of the experience for me. That really was disappointing. Another negative I have with the game is that I really do hope, and I think this will be fixed in the coming weeks, is that I think the game needs a little bit more skill-based matchmaking. I don't know how much skill-based matchmaking the developers have said is in the game or not, But, and I know it's kind of a controversial opinion and topic of skill-based matchmaking as a whole, but I do already think there are already a lot of people in the game that are a little sweaty. There are players in the game who instantly are pretty good and much better than others. I, for one, I'm not the best at the game, I'd say. I'm getting better as I play more. But, like, even just a few hours of the game being out, I was playing with some friends and we were being absolutely demolished by people who were just insane. Then I'd play with 2 other randoms. And the 2 randoms I'd be playing with, we would just absolutely destroy the enemy team. Like, finish the game in, like, 5 minutes. And so I thought, hopefully there is more skill-based matchmaking in the future. So if new players jump in, maybe, say, a month or 2 months from now, they're not just instantly jumping in with people who have been playing the game since launch and are super good and they just don't have a fun time anymore. I think a lot of this will be fixed with the rank mode, which is coming in 2 weeks. That like I said, for the post-launch roadmap, in 2 weeks they're going to be adding ranked mode. So hopefully the players that are a little better than others can kind of go more into ranked mode. So some of the players that aren't as good can kind of have a more enjoyable and laid-back time just playing the game normally. Another negative I have is that, so like I've said, I've played for about 6 hours, more than 10 matches, but honestly, I haven't had one match that felt different from one another. All the matches were pretty fun. Some more enjoyable than others, some more chaotic than others, but they all kind of felt the same. No match felt different. I think that's a lot to do because of the game, of just it being one game mode, and it basically just works the same every match. I've never had a match that felt different or felt like, whoa, that's crazy. I can't believe that's happening. Like, everything kind of felt the same. The only thing that was different was just what the players were maybe doing. I think that also a lot has to do with just just one game mode. And they did confirm with post-launch, they are going to be adding new game modes, which I think will help the game's survivability a lot. I think it'll make it less boring, less tedious, and less just playing the same game mode over and over again. I think it'll help a lot. Another thing that I see a lot online of people complaining about is the optimization. The optimization is not that great. I saw that during the creator showcase they had, where a bunch of content creators and YouTubers and streamers and stuff got to play the game early last Wednesday. They all said there was no issues with the FPS and all that, the game performance. But now, with the game being out, the performance is not great. People are playing on the highest graphic settings and graphic cards possible. Like, the most expensive PCs possible, and are still getting consistently 45 FPS instead of 60. I see it's an issue with a lot of people. For me, I'm playing on PlayStation 5, not even a Pro, and I'm having issues. I find consistently that when I do get into a fight with enemies, I'm having consistent frame drops. So yeah, I hope and maybe that just is because the servers are really being tested with a lot of players on the game at day one, and maybe that'll get better with the coming days with less people kind of in the servers compared to the first day where everyone is playing it. I think that'll help, but hopefully they can better optimize it in the future. Another issue I have with personally playing on PlayStation instead of on PC is that the game looks a little blurry on consoles. When I first learned the game and I was in the training, I was like, wow, this doesn't look like some of the gameplay I've seen from people online looks. It looks a little blurry. It looks kind of like there's a lot of motion blur, but also a lot of it's very blurry. Some of the backgrounds look, and so I watched my brother get on. He has an Xbox, and so he played, and I was like, maybe it's just an issue with me, but no, his game was also blurry. So I think this might just be an issue on consoles, and I think a lot of this has to do with the only graphic settings on consoles compared to PC is just brightness. I wish there was a motion blur setting. I wish there was a even an FOV slider would be nice to have instead of just brightness. So I hope they can add that in the future as well. And one final sort of negative I have is that all the maps feel a little too samey. The only difference of them is just they look visually. One has snow, one is kind of sandy with rocks, and one is like a field. but there's not much different. There's nothing like, I wish there were more effects on the map that kind of changed. Maybe some have like lava around, so you gotta avoid the lava. Some have like the snow where it's like hard to see. Like, I wish the maps affected more than just kind of looking different visually and not really affecting the gameplay in any way. But overall, the game is not bad at all. I see a lot of people online saying this is terrible, saying this is like a Concord 2 situation. I wouldn't say it's that bad. I don't love it. I'm not going to give like a rating or review yet, as I've only had around 6 hours of playtime in the game so far, and I'm going to play more today and in the coming days and weeks, and hopefully months. But I'm just worried about the survivability. Obviously, the post-launch roadmap is promising, but then again, who knows if they'll even be able to reach episode 2, episode 3, episode 4 with the player drops. Who knows how many players are going to drop off after the first few days, after the first day even. It'll be interesting to kind of see the survivability of this game. So yeah, overall, I think it is a promising start. I don't think it is as much as a dumpster fire as a lot of people expected after such a big sort of smear campaign after the Game Awards, and just how much people did not like the game after the Game Awards reveal. I think it's definitely a better launch than I expected because of that all, but then again, there are a lot of issues that I hope they can fix. I think right now at launch the game is pretty bare bones. I know there's a lot of wardens and a lot of maps, but then again, I think the game needs more to survive for at least the first few months, and hopefully the post-launch roadmap, they can help keep it alive. But then again, who knows? We've seen a lot of examples of games kind of just coming out and then dying instantly after like a week. I hope that's not the case with this game. I think it feels great. I think the developers did a good job with just the feeling of the game and the flow of the game, and the raid mode is a ton of fun and is super unique. So overall, I think it's fun. I'm going to play it more maybe in a few weeks from now, once I've had a good amount of time with the game and I've experienced the first free update. I'll put a review out giving a full I'll put a video out giving a full review of the game. But until then, that'll be all for today. So thank you so much for watching. If you're playing Highguard and you have thoughts on it, let me know in the comments below. I'm interested to see what you guys think about the game. What are some of your pros? What are some of your cons? Maybe what you're looking forward to post-map, maybe post-launch, maybe maybe the reason why you just stopped playing the game, the reason why you absolutely love this game. So let me know in the comments down below, and thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.